Yes, hello everyone. Hope you're doing all right. Welcome to NFTV Extra. We are live on Extra and we are live also on Twitch. If you're watching the rerun of this, play along in the comments below because we are not revealing the answers until 24 hours time. So you can guess all you like in the comments. That's the aim. And if you're watching the post video, get your comments in down below. Question 1 to 10. There's 10 players that I'm thinking of that I want you to get. Some of them are very, very easy. Some of them are a little bit more trickier than the other, but I'm here to try and give you a couple of clues along the way to try and push it in the right direction of trying to guess which player that I'm thinking of. We've got 10 slides to go through. Hello, Dale, in the comments as well. I've got 10 slides to go through, so get your questions, I say questions, answers rather. I'm doing the questions tonight, which is different. And let's see how he's got on. Come on then. If this goes well, popular with the flow of all of this, we will come back and we'll get we'll do them more on the main channel and also on the Football is Live as well. So let's get a hello, Lawrence. Hope you're doing all right, Lawrence. I'm expecting you to do well. Let's get a little bit of music playing in the background, and we're going to go on to player one. Who am I thinking of? There you go. So how it works is that we're going to be looking at a player's career, and the aim is to try and guess who this player is. Oh, do that the wrong way. That way. Who is he? Which player is this? So you can see that he's had a long list of clubs, starting at Torquay, and when he moved across to Southampton down on the south coast, loaned out quite a few times there, and then obviously went to Wickham on loan, and that's where he got his permanent move. A long period of time there at Wickham. Then went to Watford. Didn't play any games with Portsmouth, which surprised me. Then did come to Newcastle, and it looks like he spent 6 years at Newcastle to score the one goal in 150 league appearances. And then he was loaned out to Wolves, and then he made the deal permanently. And then he spent a little bit of time at Oxford United. And then, of course, the Gateshead one should really give you that. I would be very disappointed if you haven't guessed it, the one, because of Gateshead 2018 to 2023, which is only 2 years ago. Not even 2 years ago. There's a clue. Who is that player that I am thinking of? I'll give it a few more seconds before we move on. 417 appearances in the league with 16 goals. Who am I thinking of? Let's see what they're saying in the comments there. What's the quote of the day then, says Lee? Says CJ Lola. Matt thinks it's Mike Williamson. As I say, the answers will be revealed in 24 hours in the pinned comment, because we want the people who are watching post to have a guess at this as well. So there's question one. Which one is that? Question two. Let's move on. Who's this then? There's probably a few clubs in there that you're thinking, I didn't recognise some of them clubs. But if you have a look at O'Higgins, now, is that a trick one? O'Higgins. 81 appearances, 8 goals. Now, the next one might give it away a little bit. Universidad de Chile, 97 to 2000, 97 appearances, 12 goals. Cape Newcastle for 3-year spell, 46 appearances, 6 goals. Moved back to Rosario Central, 12 appearances, 0 goals. Palestino, that's not that right, 11 appearances, 2 goals. Union Española, 67 appearances, quite a long time there, 5 goals. And then he went out on loan to Deportivo's Concepcion, if I pronounced that right, on loan, 8 appearances. And then he moved to Deportes La Serena. Blimmin' hell, it's hard for me to say. So who am I thinking of then? Which player is this? Now, you're probably looking at, if you wanted a couple of clues, look at the time he's joined Newcastle, but also look at the other clubs around him. What do they sound like? They don't sound very English, do they? So who am I thinking of? The player 2. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Good evening from Ireland, says Paddy. Hello, are you? Lawrence thinks it might be Clarence Acuna. I don't know, Lawrence. I'm not giving you any of the answers yet until 24 hours. It could be, but it might not be. It could be a trick question. Player 3. So move on to player 3. There is 10 that we are thinking of this evening. So going on to number 3. Again, who am I? Who's this? This one's probably one of the harder ones. Started off Leeds in the 80s. 76 appearances, 12 goals. Then a lot of games for Blackburn. 86 and 92. Over 200 league appearances, 35 goals. Went to Leeds, just 7 games for Leeds. And then he moved to Newcastle, 75 appearances with 8 goals. Moved on to Bolton, 4 years of Bolton, a lot of games there, 111, 15 goals. Moved down to Huddersfield, down the pecking order in the league, 48 appearances, 17 goals. Moved abroad to Denmark, I think that's Denmark if I'm not mistaken. Oris, 20 appearances, 1 goal, and then ended his career at Mansfield with 20 appearances also with 3 goals. In total, he made 545 appearances, scoring 72. Now, if you're struggling on this one, have a look at the time where he joined Newcastle and think the manager at the time during that period. That should give you a couple of clues who that might be. Look at the clubs previously. 2 spells at Leeds and a long time at Blackburn. And after he left Newcastle, he kind of went down the leagues a little bit and before he's moved to Denmark. So that is your player 3. See what it's saying. Acuna says Matt. I'm thinking you mean the last one. Question mark. Alex Matthew says Lawrence. Could be. Alex Matthew. My first thought it was David Batty, says Matt. But I think he was with us a lot later than that. But stuck on this one. That's probably, I'm not going to lie to you, Matt, probably one of the hardest ones that we've got on the list. We've got a mixture of all sorts of difficult to easy. Player 4. Let's have a little look. Who's this? Who am I thinking of? Player 4. Now, again, Vélez Sarsfield, 99 appearances, 2 goals. Moved to Mallorca, 96 appearances, 5 goals. Came to Newcastle a long time, 187 league appearances, grabbing 11 goals. Went out on loan briefly to Norwich, and then got a move back to La Liga, Deportivo La Coruña, with 15 appearances, and then moved to Defensa Justicia. I said that right, 18 appearances there, 0 goals. Independiente, big club, 20 appearances, 0 goals. And then back to the club that you just left them, 2 appearances, Defensa Justicia, that's all right. Banfield, 14 appearances, 0 goals. And Almagro, 6 appearances, 0 goals. 461 appearances with 18 goals. Now, the clue is the time he joined Newcastle, 2008, the club he came from, that should give you that. It really should. And he spent a long time at Newcastle. If you look at the 7 years effectively, this is one of the easier ones. You should be getting this one. You really should. Let's have a look. Let's go back to the live scene one more time. Jonas got your thinks Lawrence. Does anyone else disagree? Player 5. Jonas says Matt. We'll go to player 5. Who am I thinking of now? For player 5. Started his career at Bordeaux. 79 appearances, 6 goals. Went out on loan to Lorient. 17 appearances, 2 goals. Made the move permanent to Manchester United. I say made the move permanent after his loan spell. Went to Man United, 27 appearances. Although 1 goal in a 2-year spell. Came to Newcastle, 77 appearances, 3 goals. Again, look at the time and the club that he signed from. That should narrow that player down for you. Went out to Russia, to Anzi, who are now defunct, I believe. Just 9 appearances, 1 goal. Came back to England, played for Wigan, scoring just a once, 12 appearances. Went to Bulgaria, the Levski Sofia, 59 appearances, scoring 5 goals, so regular there. Then went to Erzurumspor, which is in Turkey. Again, a long time, 71 appearances. Well, I say a long time. A regular, 71 appearances with 8 goals. And then he's had 2 spells at Charlotte, Independence, over across in the States, 15 appearances, 5 goals, and then the year later, 66 appearances and 12 goals. If you still haven't got that, he's active. He's still technically a player, as far as I'm aware. So there you go. Who is that? Who is this player? I think this is, again, another easy one for me personally. Let's have a look at what he's saying. Gab Obertan. Lauren says, is it Obertan? Or is it a trick question? Maybe it's a youngster. Is it? So we are halfway through. Halfway through this little quiz that we're putting together. Who am I thinking of now? This is one of the tougher ones. So, player 6, who am I thinking of? Youth career at Linfield. Came to Newcastle in a 5-year spell. 73 appearances. Went out on loan to numerous clubs in his career, as you can see. Hull City. Moved to Nottingham Forest. Made 11 appearances between 93 and 97. Went out on loan to Reading. Went out on loan to Man City. Joined Man City permanently in 97. Spent 4 years there, including loan spells at Wrexham. Back to Newcastle. Bolton, and ended his career there. Just 169 recorded appearances. Now, this is according to Wikipedia, I must stress. League appearances. But if you want me to drop a big hint, look at the goals column. Where do you think that suggests he plays? If he hasn't scored at all in his career. I'll put it this way. He's not a striker. Put it that way. So who is this? Who am I thinking of? It's one of the more tougher ones. And that is player 6 on the list. Yeah, Matt thinks Obertan on the previous one before. That one might be stumping us a little bit on player 6. Be very impressed if you get that. Very impressed. I don't want to give another clue away. But it does narrow it down. Haven't got a clue, says Lawrence, on that one. Number 7. Yeah, 7. There we go. Again, I think this one's pretty easy. Ipswich, 91 appearances. Started his career. 9 goals. Came to Newcastle a long period of time. Look at that. 99 to 2007. 190 league appearances. 23 goals. You should really be getting that pretty much just off that alone. From the club he signed for in the period of time that he spent in Newcastle. Went to West Ham. Spent 4 years there. A lot of injuries. There's another clue. West Ham. Was loaned out back to Ipswich. Spent a little bit of a time at QPR. And then ended his career in the North East, funny enough, at Middlesbrough with 9 appearances and 2 goals. Having a total career span of 329 league appearances, which realistically should have had a lot more, with 34 goals. Who is that? Came from Ipswich, moved to Newcastle, went to West Ham, back to Ipswich on loan, QPR, and ended his career in Middlesbrough. Who was that Newcastle player? Who am I thinking of? Kieran Dyer, says Lawrence. Matt thinks it's Kieran Dyer as well. Pretty sure on that one. Again, if you're watching the rerun of this, get your comments below. If anyone's that the lads are struggling off, we are live, obviously, at the moment on Extra and Twitch. Oh, player 8. Who is this? A long list of clubs. This one might be a little bit more harder because he's got a plethora, that's a big word, Lee, of clubs here. He started his career at Deportivo B. 53 appearances, 39 goals. Great record, that, isn't it? Fantastic. And obviously made it to the first team. 44 appearances and 12 goals. Isn't too bad for a kid. Sent out on loan. Again, Vicendario, look, I don't know much about that club, but 13 goals and 27 appearances isn't too bad. Came to Newcastle, just the 9 appearances, scoring once. Sent out on loan to Racing Santander, 23 appearances, 3 goals. Another loan spell back to his club that he started at, Deportivo La Coruña. I love saying that, Love saying that. Deportivo La Coruña. 25 appearances, 5 goals. Then made the move to Cordoba. 95 appearances, 30 goals. So what's that? 1 and 3. Not too bad. But York out on loan. Good scoring record there. 9 goals in 16 appearances. And then bizarrely went to the Far East to Muangthong United. God, that's hard to say. 9 goals in 13 appearances. Fantastic record there. Came back to Spain to Osasuna. 13 goals in 61 appearances. And then Peñarol, which I believe is Uruguay. I might be wrong on that. 6 goals in 23 appearances. Then he moved to Alcorcon, 11 goals in 42 appearances. And then ended his career very recently. There's a clue. You can see 23-24. Atletico Baleares, 3 goals in 19 appearances. Or 450 league appearances, scoring 154 goals. Who was that player? So again, if you need the clue, it's the timing of the transfer. And why was he loaned out? Who was that player? Supermax player 6, Tommy Wright? Maybe, maybe not. Supermax Albert Luque for this one? Maybe. Matt thinks it's Cisco, but only think because remember Deportivo LMA manager 04. Again, I'm going to reveal the answers in a pinned comment in 24 hours. Who all the answers, each player. So we've got 2 players left. Hope you enjoyed the quiz. Drop us a like if you are. We'll do more of these. Just doing a test pilot run tonight on here on NFTV Extra. Because obviously we'll get more of the lads involved. Player 9. Who's this? Who is this player? Started his career at Rennes. 102 appearances, 16 goals. Then came to Newcastle. 38 appearances, 1 goal. Went on loan to Goincomp. I said that right. 24 appearances, 1 goal. Went to Lorient on permanent deal. 79 appearances with 15 goals. So he had a better spell there. Went out on loan to Nancy. 5 goals and 9 appearances. Great record that. And another one. He went to Charlotte Independence. Similar to the player, a couple of players back. 6 goals in 19 appearances. What's that? 1 and 3. A couple of good records there. Total of 271 appearances with 44 goals. But the clue that I'll give you is for this one to help you out. Look at the time he spent in Newcastle. 5 years. Why has he only made 38 appearances in 5 years? That should give you that. That should narrow it down. Look at the clubs that he's been around before and after Newcastle. That should really narrow that down for you. Hope you get that one. Our second last player. Who do you think it is? Lauren thinks it's Marvaux. I mean, there was a plethora of French players signed, wasn't there, at that time? So we got the last player. Southern Marlborough, he thinks he was injured a bit, says Matt. And the last player, here we go. Who's this player? PSG, 48 appearances, came to Newcastle, 70 appearances, scoring 4 goals, went back to PSG, 31 appearances, didn't score any, came back to England, played for Leeds on loan, 17 appearances, went to Spain, completely change of direction, 42 appearances, and then another change of direction, went to Olympiacos, spent 4 years there, making 61 appearances in the league, and another one who headed over at the States, the New England Revolution in 2011. 278 appearances and 4 league goals, all at Newcastle. Who's this player? Now, if you're struggling for this one, especially the younger ones, the clue for you for this one, he's a pundit, an active pundit on BN Sports. There's your clue. All I'm giving you is he's a pundit active on BN Sports currently. Who is this player? I know what he's thinking on this one. Tough one, says Supermag, sorry. Lawrence Robert, says Lawrence. Robert, says Supermags. Hope you've enjoyed that. Love to know what your feedback is. Matt is not sure on the last one, but I reckon it'll bug me when it's revealed. Yeah. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Something totally different, isn't it? Well, there's a few quiz ideas that I've got for all with channels, all three of the channels, but that was a little quick 20 minutes quiz on 10 players, and I hope you enjoyed it. We'll do more of these as well, especially with the news being quiet. We don't want to do rehash stuff that journalists put out because everyone else seems to do that. So, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have. Drop us a massive like, and if you're watching the rerun, get your comments in down below. See you, everyone. Have a good night.